KG back. Aviators back to the same horizontal movement with limited options downfield.
Nice bid there to try to take that away, but handlers really utilizing the space well, making well-executed throws, and it goes up.
Throws open. The huge layout grab for Lyle, and he's in the end zone for a score. 1-0 Aviators. That's how we want to start it.
It's a massive.
This particular wind condition. The over the top as we see the crossover offense-defense line, the hybrid line for Aviators. Huge shot from Santee to Combs, and it is in the breadbasket. That is what the Aviators want. Pumped up on the sidelines. That's 4-3 as you see the dance from Combs.
So close.
McCracken puts it wide. Growlers looking off the tougher options. McCracken with the beautiful flick inside to Fast Max. And that is 5-5 LASD tied up.
Good space. He's going to look around again.
KJ looks off his college teammate, Matt Miller. Opts for easier options. To the middle. Handler movement. Throw and go. To space, and it's in.
It's very reminiscent of mixed ultimate to me. It reminds me of mixed tape, actually, seeing Khalif Salam play like that. It reminds me of mixed tape finals.
Here, they don't always get called that much. And so, Growlers kind of calling it on themselves. And open side with another doink, but he makes the save. Reggie Sung.
I mean, they were crowded in the end zone. It was the anatomy.
Looking to be in playoff shape.
A few slips happening on that.
And it wouldn't be one of our casts if we didn't talk about how difficult this field is sometimes. Huge inside shot, and that's a goal. Wow, what a throw from Kyle Rubin to Brunker in the end zone. 10-6, San Diego really running away with it.
San Diego taking that momentum and
working it.
Looks
off
deep.
The downfield shot. Great catch from Keoy with pressure from the back. Franklin goes to ground for safety and shoots with a laser deep, but there is so much space in the back of that end zone for
But I have to say, they clamped down as soon as that happened, too.
They did. Run through block from Max Combs, one of the block getters, one of the block leaders for this Aviators team. And again, Santee putting the huge ball to Combs, and he collects it for the break. Aviators 9-10. Combs and the whole sidelines there with the both hands up saying, bookends, young man.
That unabashed bookends coming through with a comb, honey.
Storied program with 6 rings. They got 2 3-peats in the 90s and 2000s. Miller in the middle of the field, looks deep to Khalif. Khalif saying, I'm done with this. And he easily bodies Dunbar to the end zone. Khalif is ready to bring the Growlers to victory, it looks like.
With a lot of power and punctuation, Khalif El-Salam in the end zone, slamming that disc.
And did you ever think he did? Pumps the deep shot. We see Lyle, again, open on these long slashing cuts. Really gives you enough time as a thrower to see that he's open. KG with a difficult throw. And McDougal in the end zone. That is another score for big number 10, Sean McDougal.
Perfect 10 from Sean McDougal. Veteran, wisdom, leading by example, showing this team what it means to put your body on the line.
That's what we saw from them when they were really successful. Ooh, just out. It was barely in reach for Cohen, who immediately switches the field with an amazing cross-field shot. Huge layout, but Artis collects confidently for the score. SD up 12-11.
That was massive. Their marks are incredible.
KG a little too cheeky with that inside. Really, like sort of, elevators it up there, and McDougal unable to collect. Gibson loves to shoot. That's a big height mismatch with Sugarman and KG. I think he's just shooting for that to Max Hume in the end zone. And that is a break for the Growlers.
I think that they noticed that something wasn't right. We've got a cutter on a handler. All right, let's just put that there. And, hey, understandable and definitely power. Yeah, you got to maintain the score.
Double team, Miller looking. Really pinched. Hammer over the top. Oh! And that's a Callahan! Dunbar in the end zone for the Callahan Aviators, up to 12.
That's the energy, that's the momentum, that's the electricity, the power, the strength that the Aviators need to continue to bring the top flight in order to sail away with this game.
Oliver Artis in space. Marcel looks him off. Not greenlit to throw deep. Only Matt Miller is, who now has the disc and throws deep. To Casey Wu, who easily collects past the bidding Epstein. And that's the game plan for the Growlers.
It's smooth.
You're only going to throw deep when it's Matt Miller. But we'll see if they change anything. It looks like the Growlers are playing the same setup, really covering the deep. There's a deep poach, 2 deep poaches. Letting the Aviators reset. Huge layout from Sugarman. He gets that on James Franklin. And 30 seconds left. D-line's ready to go for the Growlers.
Also great clamp down D as well that we saw from Santee. Oh, even with the switches.
Deep
and
to Khalif. That is a bomb, and he collects it. Wow, I thought that was going to be past him.
It hung masterfully for him in the air. He was ready for it. He caught it. Let's see that again.
What a read also. For it to go, Lyle looks off Franklin deep. Franklin only guarded by 1 that time. And they're putting it to him. Hey, they say you don't double Franklin in the end zone. We're going to easy throw and catch to him. And it's Franklin time.
Yeah, I mean, in the
4th quarter. That thing, the wind isn't here for that throw. Growlers with a contain look. I think probably playing to the clock a little bit here, saying we're up by 3 and we are going to make sure that we win this game. Franklin, though, says you can double Lyle in the backfield, but Lyle is going to elevate and rip that disc down.
Wow. Not in my house. Lyle refused to be taken down by 2 players in the back of the end zone. Absolutely not.
Lyle to Franklin. And Aviators running until McDougal puts up the big shot to Lyle, unguarded in the deep space. Great looking throw from the veteran Sean McDougal. Have yourself a game.
He can throw, he can catch. McDougal again all over this game in this point, as is Lyle.
Middle, getting yards at will. Would like to see them sort of continue that. And another deep shot to Khalif. I do understand the deep shot to Khalif. But it does feel like the Aviators had a shot at that one. Khalif calmly collects. Passes off to Artis for the goal. And it's 19-17.
Yeah, I mean, and that's.
And I would say offensively, which is where Travis Dunn plays, doing a great job this game. Big under, and Franklin rips it to Lyle. We've seen this before somewhere. Oh, what a huge D from Ben Levinsky. Where did he come from?
Said not again.
Yeah,
not again.
Yeah, he's saying not again.
No, absolutely.
No, young man, I've been doing this a long time. Ben Levinsky, he's been playing a long time. I think he put the ground in order for it to be down, and it just takes that lucky bounce.
He needed some help on that D. That layout D needed an assist.
Samu Desung Cohen collecting and just over the top to Sander for the Growlers goal. It's like a lane sag from the Aviators, sort of an arrowhead defense here. But Growlers break out through the middle, which is exactly what you don't want if you're running the arrowhead. And Growlers happy to play catch and shoot into the end zone. KJ Koo with acres of space. Salam is pumped up. He is pumped up. He wants to win this game, and it is looking good. And the Growlers, I don't believe they need one pass. The clock does not start until you make a pass, but they only need one completion here, and the game is over. Foul accepted. One pass, and the game is over. Casey Wu passes it, and the clock expires, and the game is over. Bit of a strange ending to what was otherwise an exciting game between two rivals. But in the end, San Diego 4-0 against LA this season. And live for the playoffs, Aviators putting up by far their best contest against a Travis Dunn-less San Diego team today.